You just got an eyeful of the 120-meter Raw Titan's beautiful face. So what's up guys, Foxen here. What could be better than a Beyond Colossal Titan's rubbed off face? How about some pretty Titan insides? That's right, Raw's Titan gave you this amazing view right into it. Then all those juicy organs dripping. Oh my goodness. This new stuff added here just made me want to freaking hurl. Now I'm really regretting stuffing myself with Korean barbecue last night. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at this thing from the start. At the beginning of the episode, you had the 120-meter Raw Titan rampaging over to the nearby district. Did you notice how it almost seemed like this thing had human radar? Either that, or it could just sense heat coming off human bodies. This whole sequence was something newly added for the Season 3 anime. But let's think about this, could it be the case for all Titans too? Or is it just for the jumbo-sized ones? Did you also notice, Raw's Titan did very much have eyes at one point? I've seen so many of you questioning from the previous review about how exactly Raw's Titan is able to locate humans. It surely is a combo of his Titan eyes and his human radar sense. By the way, regarding Raw's Titan throughout this episode, looks like they did not go full CG for this important episode. There still is a bunch of scenes like the last episode where they did use full CGI. In some of the shots, it looked more like a stylized CG, which is a pretty common technique used in various anime series. However, once you got Rod on the fricking wall, you're back to fully hand-drawn animation. This I do greatly appreciate a lot. This actually does give hope for the incoming Titans in the Season 3 second half being hand-drawn too. Anyway, as for Irwin's Titan gamble here, of course they had to try to take out Raw's Titan from afar. Unfortunately, their cannon assault only turned this thing into temporary Swiss cheese. And about this particular shot of Rod was cannon hose. Oh, looking at this just made my skin fricking crawl. I'm sure this was added just to get that uneasy effect, so props to them. As for part of Irwin's plan here involving keeping the citizens in the dark regarding their mission. A parallel to some of the current manga stuff? It almost looks like some of the townfolks here were about to start a little uprising of their own. Even that old dude is getting super physical with the female soldier. And to be honest, I can't blame them. At this point, their current king and ruling power just got replaced. Meanwhile, the military is still in command. Pretty much everything regarding the future is super unclear. Next up, I have to talk about Hanji's flashback here. They actually brought this raging Eren scene back. So you had Eren screaming and punching away trying to command Raw's Titan. You know, similar to how he controlled Titans at the end of Season 2. Nice try, but a random miracle isn't just gonna happen again. If you want to control some Titans, why not physically beat them up first? Oh, and I do just love Levi's not impressed look here. Levi must be thinking, oh, this guy is humanity's hope. Well, it could always be worse. And talking about Hanji, seems that Hanji is doing a-okay. She's got a broken or damaged arm, but she's already back on 2 feet and being cheerful Hanji too. You even had her coming up with that battle plan. As for Irwin and Historia's talk on the wall, no surprise that Irwin would prefer not to risk the last surviving royal blood member, especially when it's completely unnecessary. This almost reminds me of the talk that Levi had with her from the previous night. But come on, at this point Historia was super pumped to take part in this operation to finish off her dreaded father. I gotta respect this, that Historia wants to be out there on the front lines, especially with their plans to make her become their queen. It sometimes is annoying when in shows, movies, or anime, at times you see the leader only commanding from the very back. Meanwhile, the troops are the ones dying up in front. I'm sure Irwin totally understood the negatives, but yet he still turned a blind eye to it. Oh, if you do go, there's no way I could stop you with my battered up body. Which was pretty much Irwin's own approval. I'm sure that Irwin as a leader really respected Historia for her dedication to the cause. As for Eren on top of the wall, this dude was still down in the dumps this episode, which led into Eren's deeper thoughts pouring out. Turns out that Eren always thought of himself as being that special individual, although who doesn't when they're young? In the case of Eren, he is pretty special, one huge reason being his Titan powers. I do agree with Eren letting these Titan powers get to his head, and just getting overconfident when using them. Interestingly, Eren does separate himself from his powers, which leads into Eren thinking of himself as being weak without them, weak either mentally or physically. If you think about it, even with Eren's Titan abilities, Eren early on would often rage on as a Titan and then hope for the best. I mean, it wasn't even until Season 2 that Eren got a friggin' Titan kill outside of his Titan form. I think it would be best to find a balance between the Titan abilities and his own natural human skills, which is something that Eren has already begun in his battle versus the armored Titan. In this moment, I also did like how Eren took notice of how dedicated new Historia was with putting her all into this. then took inspiration from it. Of course, this is followed by Eren raging upon himself. Punch away, Eren, beat out your sad self physically. You're bound to feel a lot better, and you're gonna heal anyway too. By the way, did you notice the parallel of those 3 kids down below in this district? Pretty similar to their own experience 5 years ago. As Armin mentioned, fortunately their situation was completely different. Unlike their experience, this time they have the Survey Corps here to fight back. Next up, the 120-meter Titan on the fricking wall. This thing truly had a face only a Titan mother could love. And actually, you can't even see this thing's face. This smartass Titan rubbed it off while dragging itself over. Now, you could only see the nice, juicy insides. Even the chunk of the brain, or what's left of it anyway. I'm betting this will definitely be the nightmare fuel for some of you. Even better is that the Wit Studio switched away from the CG animation for this Titan on the wall. Oh, and don't forget about those juicy slime organs either. My god, Wit Studio, you guys outdid yourself with this dripping organ smoothie. That's it, I'm gonna be officially off red meat and become a vegetarian for like a day or two. By the way, someone's gonna have to clean up that wall, and I think it's not going to be Levi. Hey Inter Scouts, get your asses over here. Anyway, as for their actual battle plan to destroy Ross beyond Colossal Titan, they actually went into the Michael Bay territory, or if you're being more kind, similar to the endings of a lot of superhero movies. How do we finish the final boss off? Let's nuke it and blow it the hell up. I could actually see this being a complaint or criticism coming for Attack on Titan 2. But what do you think? I'm not sure how to feel about this yet. I'm pretty mixed on it. Of course, something else that I saw from my previous review was a good question regarding this from a lot of you. Why didn't Titan Eren jump on the back and attack it? This thing should have been freaking slow to move anyway. And who knows, perhaps that could have worked. Although there is that thick amount of Titan blubber to go through. In the end, it did go back to that cliche explosion nuke ending. So, what are your thoughts on how they took it out? Although to be fair, in the end you still have a bunch of Titan chunks flying in the air, which is followed by the scouts quickly chasing after them mid-air. For this, I really had to not think about how screwed these guys would be jumping off a 60-meter wall, especially if they missed. And technically, you had Historia crashing all the way down too. Super lucky that Historia aimed for that soft landing. Fortunately, no race pancake this time. Of course, Historia's landing led into Historia's grand announcement. I, Historia, am actually Historia v Britannia. I've come to reclaim my birthright. I don't know why, but I was expecting some cheers and applause from the villagers. Maybe that would have made it too cheesy. By the way, as for something regarding Royal Reiss Titan, is there something special about the Royal Blood Titans? Mid-air, it almost seemed like Historia sensed his location. It then seemed like Historia got a quick glimpse into some of Ross' memories while he was in Titan form. From this pretty interesting reveal, it also was from Ross' point of view. Ross saw his brother and then his daughter inherit this almighty Titan power, the one he referred to as being God. At the same time, it showed how scared and desperate he was. Did Rod feel he was powerless and also had no control of the result? Is this why Rod ran off to his maid? Initially anyway. You already do know about their Titan's ability to manipulate memories, but how about this almost royal bloodline ability? Has it been used in the past? Does it only work on mindless royal blood Titans? And with this, the mysteries and questions only deepen. Let me know if you have a theory on this. Next up, Kenny. Oh my god, Kenny is still around. Apparently on his final moments too. It does suck that Kenny is the only survivor. The rest of the Kenny squad got roasted by Rod's Titan. Even freaking Kenny got all nice and crispy, burnt up. I mean, you have Kenny here looking like Shota from My Hero Academia. Perhaps now Uncle Kenny could give Levi his own version of his Ackerman talk. Go ahead Kenny, spill your grandpa's deep secrets. Oh, but what is this? You better not count Kenny out yet, he's got a backup plan. Kenny just happened to swipe one of those special Titan syringes. Great timing too. Will a 120-meter Titan Kenny finish off Levi? Find out next time on Titan Ball Z. By the way, really quickly, I recently did a huge Patreon update. Please go ahead and check it out and become a supporter if you can. The lowest tier is only $1 and that includes Discord access. Really trying hard to bring on my buddy John to help out with the channel, so please take a look. But anyway, more important, let me hear your thoughts on this episode. Question of the day. How much did you like Rod's beautiful Titan this episode? How good did you find the hand-drawn animation for it? Did anyone else find it as disgusting as I did? Oh, and what's gonna happen with Kenny? Anyway, definitely give this a colossal thumbs up and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, I put out 5+ anime videos here every week. A video on Rod's Titan is also coming. Just need to trim it down a bit, it's almost 20 minutes. Also, a video on SAO Season 3 Episode 1 is coming out later today. So hit bell notifications and I'll see you guys later.